Welcome back to CPAC Day 2. We are here with a heavy hitter, Mr. Grant Cardone. He is the fund manager and CEO of Cardone Capital and CEO of Cardone Training Technologies Incorporated.
And newly,
Yes.
just because I know you do a lot of these, we just started a super PAC, 10xcalifornia.com.
Yes.
Because we're going to go take and flip California. Nobody believes this is possible. I'm like one of two people in the universe that think it's possible. I think Donald Trump believes it. But we're going to flip California to a red state this year.
Absolutely. And, that's one of the main things that a lot of people were saying during the campaign trail this past election cycle, that, California is a blue stronghold, Grant.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel possible in a lot of ways. Well, with the LA fires that have happened recently, I know your home was also a part of that.
That's right.
Yes, and affected
Doing your
by
homework.
that. Yes, of course. And, with the mismanagement that's happening in California with Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass, your LA mayor, we have to have change, and it's one of those things that the management in the state has to change, but it starts with the voters, and I think that's what 10X California is doing.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like, as soon as the fires happened, I was watching it that night. The fires were in the Palisades. I'm like, if the fires skip the PCH, jump across the PCH, I said, all of Malibu is going to burn to the ground. I've been telling my wife this for 20 years because the progressive state, quote unquote, of California, progressive, is actually the least progressive. Because those homes should not have burnt down. Some of those homes are 50, 60, 75 years old, built of timber. Imagine a piece of timber sitting in the sun every day for 75 years. You hit it with a spark, it lights up, okay? Well, the reason that is the way it is, and it's not just Gavin Newsom. He's part of the problem. Pelosi's the problem. Schiff's the problem. And all their predecessors, okay? Mayor Bass. This is like organized crime at the ultimate rate, okay? They basically suppressed the middle class there and prevent people from selling their property to those people that would want to develop it, because they use the Coastal Commission to stop anything from happening. They use environmentalists and the Coastal Commission to say, we don't have water, we don't have the resources, we can't get it here. It's very complex, which brings me to this. The Republican Party has surrendered. I'm calling out the Republican Party right now. We surrendered the state of California, one of our greatest resources, to the Democratic Party. We need to go back there and claim it. We need to spend the time, the energy, and the resources, invest that to grab it back, because we can flip the state of California in the next election.
Absolutely. And, you were one of the first to flee the state of California, actually, due to the regulatory environment there as well.
I didn't know all this stuff about me.
I got to do your research before you do these, Grant, of course. But, you left the state of California. You actually fled to the state of Florida very early on. I would say you're one of the early fleers. And, we see so many, we talked about this earlier on the broadcast, the differences in management in the state of Florida as well as the state of California. And, what difference, especially with President Trump's new administration specifically, I think we've seen him bring in people from the private sector to the public sector to make these changes. And we've seen that with the pace that this administration is going. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that as well.
Well, look, I was there 25 years. I raised my family there. I had all my friends, my home, my whole life, my businesses. Everything was great. And then they continued to raise taxes. They went from 10 to 13.3.
Yes.
And my friend said, well, it's only 3 points. I said, it's 33%, man. And I said, if you tolerate this is abusive. It's overreach by the government. It is basically penalizing the people that contribute the most, so that those that contribute nothing can win.
Yes.
Okay? And I'm like, if I tolerate this, it was a violation of my moral code. It wasn't really about money at all.
Yes.
And I'm like, if I tolerate this, so will everybody else. Well, this was almost 15 years ago we left.
Yes.
And we had no place to go. We didn't know where we were going to go. We ended up in Miami, but we took the tax savings from the state of California that I would normally pay the state, and they misused those funds, by the way. It's not like they used it for the good stuff. We used that same money in Miami to actually expand our business. We went from 13 employees to 1,300 employees. So that's better for everybody. We win, our customers win, our partners win.
Right.
Property taxes in Miami, all that could have been left for California, by the way.
Right.
And this is what I'm hoping Trump's going to do right now, is audit the IRS.
Yes.
End the IRS. End all federal income taxes, go to zero.
Yes.
And those states like Texas, Florida, Tennessee, that have zero income tax now will continue to be beneficiaries. And I know that Texas and Florida are also thinking about going to zero property taxes.
Yes. Yes, and like the state of Florida, of course, where you are now.
And the reason that will work
yes.
is because it's going to put more money back in your pocket, and you can fund the activities in your state. So look, it's an unbelievable time to be alive in America and to get involved and have a voice.
Absolutely, and we saw you speak.
And be on the right side.
Absolutely, and we saw you speak at Madison Square Garden for President Trump's rally as well. We were broadcasting that as well. But I watched back 2 years ago. You spoke to President Trump at one of your 10X events, and it was really an interesting conversation. I love the hat that you brought out, the 10X America, what it meant to him, and I loved his answer as well. And he also endorsed you. So I guess what I want to ask you is, what's your ultimate goal with this 10X California? I think we could see a gubernatorial run from you.
Well, let me go back to the hat.
Yes.
So I made this hat because we had Trump speak in 2021. He was not in favor, by the way.
Okay.
He was very out of favor.
Yes.
People were not like on the Trump train like they are now.
Right.
Now everybody's Trump, right?
Yes.
But back then, people wouldn't even mention his name.
Absolutely.
We had him as the opening speaker at a conference where there was 10,000 people and another 50,000 online.
Yes.
I had a hat, and I took his MAGA hat, and I built it into 10X America, and I had a bet with my guy. I said, I'll bet you I can get Trump to put it on. And me and Trump didn't work out a deal or anything, but I had this bet. Anyway, Trump looks at it. I like it. I like the hat. I like the hat. I like this saying it's good. And then he puts it on. I said, okay, I won the bet. So,
right.
Regarding my political ambitions, my ambitions are not political. They're just really about, look, California is the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yes.
And even though I live in Florida, if California rolled over, the tsunami effect, the economic tsunami would reach me. Mm-hmm. It'll reach New York, Chicago, Iowa. It doesn't matter where you are, dude. This economy is so big. You understand, in America, if you took the economies, got rid of every other economy, it would be America, and number 2 would be California.
Yes.
So if California rolls, we got a major problem. Also, what happens in California tends to move across the country.
Right.
So if we tap out, continue to tap out and surrender these 54 electoral votes in California and that lifestyle that they're exporting, if we continue to roll over and allow it, even if you live in Iowa, if you allow that bullshit to continue, it is going to get exported. It's a virus, man.
Yes.
And the way to end the virus is to kill the organism. And the organism there is not the Democrat Party, by the way. It is wild, crazy, freak agendas from overly liberal people that are not connected to common sense.
Yes, and that was the major part with California, and that was what we saw when California was at risk in this last presidential election. I think that's what America saw, and that's why President Trump won so overwhelmingly. And he's inputted people that have this can-do attitude. The White House, the entire administration. I believe you also have that can-do attitude, and you're taking on a lot with this 10X California.
I'm a product of the American dream. I mean, I raised by a single mom, had nothing. My dad died when I was 10 years old. I had no credit, no money.
Yes.
I had I ruined my reputation in high school. High school was terrible for me. Then I went to college. That was even worse. Every bad habit I learned was in schools.
Yes.
And at 25 years old, my life was wrecked, and I rebuilt it. So I am a product of what's possible. I have a great company that's privately held. We do whatever we want, say whatever we want. I've lost a lot of investors, customers, lending relationships because I'm verbal about being a conservative. I don't want transgender ideas pushed into my community or on my kids. I don't care about Ukraine. I'll tell everybody right now, don't care what happens to them. It's none of my business. I don't want any of my funding to go there. If you disagree with that, no problem. You probably can't even find Ukraine on a map.
Right.
I want the money spent here. And so I am that when you come from nothing, you learn to operate with nothing. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, our government doesn't know how to operate with a zero-based budget, which is where you're most creative. This is why I'm so excited about Elon. Elon knows richest guy in the world knows how to operate with $0 and be extremely, he knows how to leverage nothing.
Right. Entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're broke, which is what the middle class is.
Yes.
The middle class, the politicians need to tell the middle class, you are broke.
Yes.
You're this far from bankruptcy, okay? And people need to get highly alert. Like the kitchen is on fire. It's called your finances.
Right.
And I think business people can change this. I know politicians can't, otherwise they would have.
Yeah, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, of course, saying that America has a revenue problem. I mean, a spending problem, not a revenue problem. So carrying over. But Grant, it was so nice talking to you. You have a beautiful family. We really enjoy following you on social media. Follow him at Grant Cardone, and we're continuing our coverage here at CPAC on day 2. We really appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much.